Hi, Mrs. Prell here with English 1. Welcome to Station B, Integrating Evidence. So when we include examples to support our thesis, we think of them as Oreo cookies. We need 2 Oreo cookies in our essay, so 2 examples within our essay. Each Oreo cookie should have a lead-in, that's your cookie on the top, evidence or example, that's the good stuff, the stuffing, and end with your reasoning, which is that second cookie on the bottom. We're going to go over these notes, and as I write, follow along with me. So what is a lead-in? Well, a lead-in is where you introduce the book, author, or character. Why do we include a lead-in? Well, your reader can't read your mind. Your reader needs context. To understand your evidence. An example of a great lead-in would be from our St. Lucy's story about Mirabella and Claudette. So we can say Mirabella from the short story St. Lucy's Home for Girls Raised by Wolves. Is a great example and then you would go on to list your example. We've got an introduction of the character, what type of story it is, and the title for the story. You're finished with your first cookie, so on to your evidence. Your evidence is the specific character or plot point from literature that supports your thesis. Why do we include evidence? Well, evidence proves your thesis statement. Is valid. An example of evidence is that specific plot point in the story from St. Lucy. So we're going to say when Mirabella was required to assimilate into human culture, she retained habits from her home culture. We've got a specific example from our story to support our point. Last but not least, our reasoning. Our reasoning is super important. This shows why and how your evidence or your example supports your thesis. The why and the how, is the most important point of your example. If you give an example or a piece of evidence without explaining why it supports your thesis, you do not have an appropriate Oreo cookie. We include this because reasoning proves that your evidence is valid. Reasoning may be multiple sentences, and it is everything else in your paragraph that supports your thinking. So we're not going to write an entire reasoning here. What I want you to do is look ahead in your packet to the reasoning that I give on page 8. So we're going to look at page 8 of our packet and look for the reasoning that supports our specific example with Mirabella. So I'm going to write C example. Check that out on page 8. All right. When you are ready, go ahead and flip that page to page 6. It's your turn to make your own evidence Oreos. You need 2 Oreos, 1 for each body paragraph. So this is body paragraph number 1. And this is body paragraph number 2. You're going to include a lead-in. Remember, that's who said it, right? That's your author, your title, your character. Your evidence is your specific event, character, plot point, and then your reasoning ties it all together. Why does your evidence support your thesis? You're going to do that times 2. Answer your thinking right, and then get this work page checked by a teacher. Good job!